on stream, I decided to rate all killers and survivors based on what I think about their mains. I'm not really sure what made me do this. I just figured we would turn to a video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Yes. Okay, here we go. Right here. There we go, so you can still see the chat. Behind the the LGBTQ test. Maybe we'll do that later. I don't know. Okay, we're doing a tier list, guys. We're actually doing two. We're doing reputation tier list here. Dwight. Good vibes. Usually, unless you're bald. Bald Dwights. But usually, A tier. Nice guys. Maybe not the best at the game, but they're trying, right? And I appreciate that. Meg is like... They're not as bad as they used to be, right? Like, I know like, Megs have been all over the place. But I think current day Meg's like B, pretty standard. I would argue she's like the more popular newbie character in a way. But they're like newbie characters who want to be like good. That makes sense. Claudette, you're like C tier. I don't know. I find a lot of Claudettes just like don't really do much. Whenever there's an AFK survivor, it's almost always Claudette for me. Jake, these guys are crazy. I like Jakes because typically they're gonna be the ones who go for like the sabotages, the flashlights, but they also are just like really big fans of their character, right? Nia's like B, maybe actually maybe C. I don't know, I feel like Nia is like, I don't know, so many like juicer YouTubers and stuff, right? Always use Nia. They always use Nia. Nearly without a doubt. Like, and because of that, there's a bunch of Nias now. People play Nia because they want to be like Otstarva too. You know? So I think she belongs there. Lorries are dope. Lorries pretty rare. I don't really find many Lorries in my matches. But they're always like pretty standard. They know like what they're doing. They're not like overly toxic or anything. They're just like playing the game. And I think that's neat. Bill. You know, I like Bill. I think Bills are like B tier. These but like high B tier. These guys are always running sabotage. I don't know why. It's so consistent that these guys always run sabotage. And it's strange. I feel like I never see a build that actually uses Unbreakable. But they're always using sabotage stuff. Fung? I'm kind of neutral on Fung. Because Fung players are like... They'll probably be like juicers. Like, not like crazy, insanely good juicer. They're not going to be toxic. But like, they know how to chase, right? They've been in a chase before. And I mean, you know, like, obviously, if this was like a long time ago, right, she'd be like down here. But I think just by comparison of other characters, David players, these guys are like the most gay guys, I think, ever. There's no straight male David player. I was gonna say, I don't know why he attracts gay man, but also I get why he attracts gay man. Quentin doesn't exist. People don't play Quentin, and if you play Quentin, you're playing him to be special. Tap, I don't know, Tap's neutral. Tap's okay. Like, if you see him in the lobby, they're probably gonna be like the most mediocre survivor ever, but they're not bad either. You know, run of the mill. Kate. I'm gonna put Kate. Oh, this is tough actually. Because I could see her in any three from... I'm from B. I could see her in A, B, or C. I feel like Kate players, you know, usually very good at the game. Even though you would think they'd be like the window slaves, they're not really. Adam. I don't know. Adams are chill. We've had a lot of like B tiers in a row, but like Adam players just like they don't really do much. They're not like toxic or anything. I find they're usually the gen jockeys, you know? If you run Adam, you're probably doing the gen. Which is, you know... thank you, Adams, for doing the gen for us. But I just, like, never see you guys ever. Speaking of a character I never see ever, I'ma just... like, I don't think I have anything to say. I'ma just put him in B, like... You know? Jane, you're going... You could... put her in C. No, put her in C. Because Jane's not actually, like, the worst ever. It's just, I find Jane players tend to be very, like... They're gonna spam head-on, right? Like, they're gonna let you know that they use head-on. Ash? Ash is Omega based. We're putting him in, like, right there. Ash is awesome. I love Ash. Actually, not there. I love Ash players because they like Ash, right? It doesn't even have to be any more complicated than that. These guys usually pretty good at chasing. They don't teabag. They're not toxic about it, but they're good at chasing, right? They got the spirit, and I fuck with it. Plus, Evil Dead's really cool. Nancy. Do people play Nancy much? Because I rarely see Nancy's. Like, I'm gonna put her in C. Because... I don't know. That's just out of spite, like, for not liking the character that much. You know. I didn't like her in the show much at all. And that's just out of spite. I like Steve. Like, Steve is an awesome character. I think he's awesome. He's neat. But you can't look at me and say you're gonna put Steve in anything besides D tier after what Steve goal is, you know? UE players, that's like A. UE players are neat. They got the spirit. Typically, you know, they hold chase for a long enough time. And they're not, like, toxic either. Maybe a little toxic. Like, they'll teabag you a little bit, right? But I find UEs are good teammates, usually. They're not gonna, like, leave you for dead. Like, that's another one where I'm just like... She doesn't really get a lot of play, you know? She doesn't... Not a lot of people actually play her for me to have a distinct opinion. Because I love... Like, I'm biased, right? I love Cheryl. I feel like base Cheryl, like not a skin, right? Not a legendary. Base Cheryl is like high B tier. Because you probably are like a really casual Silent Hill fan. I think that's cool. You know? Felix players, I'm gonna say... I don't know, C. They're not like... High C. I'll do this. Because they're not bad, right? They're not, like, toxic. They're not hiding away in a corner. I just feel like they're gonna teabag you at the end gate. You know, they're gonna do that. They're gonna force a DS. Stuff like that, right? So I'm gonna say C. LEDs are pretty cool. I'm gonna say A. I find these guys are pretty, altruistic. I haven't saved by an LED like way too much. Yoon Jin players. I like these guys. I'm also biased because I really like Yoon Jin as a character. I'm gonna say A. Again, these are other characters that like... she can be juicer, right? But she can also be like a crazy gen jockey. Like, she's kind of doesn't have a specific role. Her players are just like pretty open. Joe players... I'm gonna say like mid B. I don't know. I feel like Jill players typically are just kind of okay-ish, you know? They're missing a little something. They're probably just going to use a blast mine. And, like, that's going to be their whole contribution to the to the team. Leon is like a C tier. Because... the stereotype of Leon's being bad is sadly very real. I say this as a Leon main, you know. I've seen these guys mess up skill checks way too many times. It's rough. Michaela, bottom of C, barely a D. These guys just bring all boons and then do generators and nothing else. I don't see these guys do anything besides chill around their boon. Like that's all they do. Jonah's like a C. No, he's like B. Jonah's a B. They're like Ace, but less toxic. You know? Yoichi? I like Yoichis. Yoichis are cool. Actually, yeah, Yoichi's S tier. I love Yoichi. People who play Yoichi typically are just straight up fans of Ringu. I've seen all types of him. And I don't know, I just feel like these guys are usually good teammates all around. They will save you, even if it means they have to trade, right? Like, they're gonna stick out their neck for the team, and I like that. The most neutral. Like, this is the most neutral, I think. Because I don't see anybody running her, man. Ada players, you're going bottom of C. Straight up bottom of C. These guys are either role-playing way too hard and, like, hiding in the corner, hiding around, whatever, the entire game, not any chase or anything. Or they're just gonna, like, teabag the killer to try to make friends every single match without fail. They're gonna try to tame the killer every single match. And what's sad is it'll probably work like 90% of the time. Rebecca, S tier. I think Rebeccas are often very altruistic, right? Role-playing. But also, some Rebeccas are such good juicers. Gonna lock in, do what they gotta do, get out. Vittorio, S tier. There are not many Vittorio players in this world. But if you play Vittorio, you are like the sweetest soul ever. Like, you're the kind of guy who go into the forest with like peanuts and feed squirrels. These guys frolic through fields of flowers. I'm gonna say Renato's like C. I think Renato's can be a little toxic, but I find these guys do a lot of teabagging. They're gonna, you know, spam their flashlight at you. They're gonna be a little rough, but they're generally speaking, they're nice. And the sister is just standard. Gabriel's like cute-ish. I feel like Gabriel players, they're not the best at the game. They're not up there, but they're trying, right? They like the game. Because I've seen so many toxic Nick Cages. Like, not even like juicers, just like toxic, you know? Like just like, I gotta put him here. You know? He's not as bad as Ace, though. Ace is the worst here. If you play Ace, I'm gonna bomb your house. Ellen Ripley, like, these guys love generators. I'm putting them in A. They're just gonna grind generators. They're probably not gonna be crazy good at chase. They're almost always gonna be running the chem trap. Alan Wakes are underrated. I'm gonna just put them in B, straight up. These guys are overhated for zero reason. They're just good juicers, that's it. I don't even know their name, but like the D&D guys, I don't know. They're kind of C tier. They're kind of C tier. Like, these guys they're fine. Lara Croft is like, dude, Lara Croft is tough. Because I've seen so many goated Lara Crofts, but also so many that are just dog water. You know, like, Lara's tough, dude. Lara's tough. They're just finesse stinky. Yeah, they are kind of stinky demons. I don't put them in C. But I'll go next to tap. Next to tap, right? They're gonna show off their finesse every time they can, right? All right, just the legendaries now. Carlos. I'm saying A tier. These guys, out of any survivor, Carlos players are the most down bad for their main. Like, they are obsessed with Carlos, but they are good at the game. They will contribute. Chris players are like... Chris players are weird, because I feel like Chris players are just looking for Wesker. These guys are like the most standard, just B tier. They just want a Wesker. That's all it is. They just want to go against Wesker. So if you aren't playing Wesker, you'll probably get the most normal match of your life. If you're a survivor, these guys are gonna probably die at 3 gens. Claire is kind of the same, but like a little higher, because these guys aren't looking for any killer in specific. They're kind of like Jills, actually. Sybil players, I'm gonna say C tier. Again, Sybil is very rare, stupidly rare. But if you play Sybil, I know you're like a juicer, right? Like, you want to be the juicer so bad. You're watching On Starva every night. You're watching Hens every night. You're practicing your loops, like, you're trying real hard. And I respect that. But, like, you don't want to throw a match. He's trying to juice. James players, I have never met a bad James in my entire life. Straight up. Whenever I play Pyramid Head, these guys are always... they're always really nice. And... I don't know, I just like James players. Dude, I want to do it so bad. I want to do it so bad. I'm from C tier. Low C tier, though. These guys are just whatever. You play Lisa, you're S tier. If you play Lisa, you are S tier. Without... without an absolute doubt, if you play Lisa, you are S tier. You guys are good at the game, at pretty much everything. You guys know how to work as a team, and you're gonna look fucking beautiful while doing it. Maria is like the same thing, but 1 tier down. They're like the same kind of vibe. They're just slightly worse at the game. I have never seen anyone play either of these two, ever. Like, these characters do not exist. Nobody ever plays these two. If you play Alan Wake, you play Alan Wake. None of these two exist. Sheva, mid-A tier. Like, Shevas aren't crazy. But I respect them, you know? I don't know this guy's name. What is this guy's name? I know he's from Rainbow Six. I've met a few of them, and they're typically very nice. Like, they are good, nice people. I just don't know the guy's name. If Arella was here, Arella would be A tier. Probably in between Dwight and Jake. Rick players would be probably a bit lower, next to like Carlos. Michonne, probably right next to Rick. And if you play Daryl, maybe like high B tier. But I would probably put V like next to Adam. Next to Adam and Bill, like right here. These guys are just gonna hang around and play the drums at you. Like the tambourine. And they might die while